Who should I battle? I'm going
Welcome.
to battle Candy.
Welcome everybody to Co-op Guild. Of course we do cold starts.
I actually rolled a good roll, and I was like, "Woo!"
That was a great roll.
And then I looked, I was like, "Nope, Jonathan got a 20. Damn it, Jonathan!"
Welcome everybody.
Steve, I have to admit, I'm super excited that I miss here because then I know somewhere in my life I'm hitting.
There you go. There you go. Wait, you're missed though, aren't you? And Colin hit. He laughed.
Oh, not last week. If you watch our stream last week, there was only one hitter in that week.
That's right.
I think Colin was hoping he could start drawing cards to play Kingdom Death, but that's not a thing. Only no sport.
Good Lord.
But yeah, welcome everybody to Co-op Guild. This is our co-op chat, our live, try to be weekly chat about various board game topics. And we're talking about the boss battle because I know you guys defeated the boss the last time, and I made a quick temporary boss for the time being. I am going to be revamping the system and starting a whole new structure. The goal is in September. So,
is this like in D&D when you have this whole thing planned and they just teleport across the map, so you just have to think of something on the fly?
Not exactly. I've had a little bit of a roadmap here. To add
wait, what?
Yep. I have a plan.
You have a plan or you have a roadmap? Those are two totally different things.
Plan. so yeah, no. I got a bunch of things I'm trying to tackle for that one. So, but I'm gonna need a few weeks to implement it all because it's gonna be a pretty big change. So, but I think you guys will like it. So, all right. Anyway,
I watched a little skit of a D&D skit where the guy's like he had to take a test to see if he was a DM. He's a really famous YouTuber. I forgot his name. I apologize. But like, he was like, what happens when what happens when your friends teleport across the map? Or something's like, do you plan endlessly and then have them teleport across the map? Yes. Is it okay to the road if they teleport across the map? That's so hard.
Dan's giving some shade here, Baron. When Steve says I have a plan, I feel secure. When Baron says it,
right.
I have a plan, guys. Don't worry.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we're here on co-op chat, and
I'm moving to another undisclosed location.
Yeah, undisclosed location. That's right. We're here to talk about something board game adjacent. Let's do it. So, like, of course, we talk about various board games, but we want to talk about the things we do to improve our play experience, like different accessories. Maybe there's a specific product we might want to call it here or there to, I don't know, recommend or something like that. So, but yeah, that's basically what we're here today. So, and in the chat, if you guys have anything, let us know as well. But this kind of stemmed from recently we had a fun little chat about card sleeves. I think it's probably where we should start. It was Colin. He was trying to give us. We have a chat between all of us. He's trying to give us some crap about sleeving too many games or putting sleeves on games, but he does the same thing too. So I'm like, oh, maybe we should talk about accessories. That might be kind of fun. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about sleeves. I'll start. I think. Yeah, for me, I feel like I have very particular taste when it comes to sleeves. Like I started off with like all sorts of sleeves of various nature. But for me, like the big thing is I want consistency, like a consistent cut. I tend to like thicker sleeves.
Okay.
But the really big thing is for streaming is now I go for matte sleeves. Rather than the standard sleeves are glossy.
Glare. Because of the glare. Yeah.
Because of glare, exactly. And because that.
Yogi. Only a few people will get that joke.
My board game babies. Yes. You'll protect them, that's right.
I needed that one this morning. That was a good one.
Yeah, chat sponsored by King's Queen Woodworking. Yeah, I might mention that later too. Chris, I might mention that too. So in fact, I have to grab the product over there. I'll grab that in a second. But yeah, so matte sleeves. But that is, I don't think a matte sleeve is something I would necessarily recommend for most people. I know for us, it tends to be really, really nice. Because no, Derek, you go for matte sleeves too, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What's your deciding factor for going from matte or gloss?
Matte sleeves are usually reserved for games that I'm like, you will glue my kill forth. Like games that are one, very, very pretty to look at, and two, that just showcase well that way. But if it's a game that I will keep, but there's 10 billion cards for it, I'm not going to go matte sleeves.
Okay.
You're not wearing a Battlestar Galactica t-shirt, are you?
No.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, it's a
okay. Family time.
local game store in Indianapolis called Family Time Games.
Perfect. See, I helped you there.
Yeah.
Free advertising.
But it is made within the so I can see. I can see why you would think that for
It's
sure.
the same.
Mine's not. Mine's Death Note. That's not a local game store. It's an anime I watched a long time ago.
The first series of Death Note, incredible. The second, but it was a good show.
I watched the whole thing. I liked it. What are these matte sleeves you talk about? And I'm guessing it's not Matt Levy sleeves or Matt Rose sleeves. What are these matte?
No, not people sleeves. Which is funny. So, because Matt said to come here too. Why do you see my sleeves?
Well, I just go over to Matt Levy's house and just take his sleeves.
That's right.
They were perfect for me.
I'll take his sleeves. But no, the
around here.
The difference is it doesn't have that gloss. It doesn't have a. It's not as reflective. It's got a.
So these are not matte sleeves.
No.
Okay.
Almost all sleeves are gloss. You have to like specifically look for matte ones. I don't have ones on hand right now, but when I'm streaming, you can almost guarantee that they're going to be matte sleeves. I think there's a few older games that are in gloss sleeves that I'm not going to replace them honestly at this point, but basically from here on out, I always buy matte sleeves.
Oh, Dragon Shields. Okay, those are matte sleeves.
Well, Dragon Shield also come in gloss.
Yeah,
you can get Dragon Shield matte sleeves.
Yeah, you can get either one.
Huh.
But
I'll have to look into that. I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah, it helps with glare.
Does it really help that much or not that much?
They're a little bit more, but it's not. I mean, we only talk about some coins more, not like significant price increase.
Yeah, I thought I had some next to me, but no, I just have my usual sleeves here.
Yes, I need matching sleeves, Kim. You're right. So I was getting a ton of sleeves, and they weren't quite right. I was like, oh thanks, because I wanted to match. So
I have a hard time with sleeves. Like I have to physically have the sleeves in my hand in order to try the card. And we have a local game store called The Source next to us that actually carries Mayday. Mayday is one of the sleeves that I use the most. They're not the top of the line, but they're not the bottom of the line. They're kind of mid-bottom, mid, kind of mid. You're kind of mid, kind of like what I am according to my kid. I'm mid sometimes. I don't know. It's through the slang.
What does that even mean? I'm so old. What does
I know. It's like, but I'm why am I so mid, bro? That's mid, bro. So anyway, I have a tendency to use these Mayday sleeves, and so, but they come in so many different sizes that I actually have to take the card to the store and try it in the sleeve because. Even though, because I'm one of those people that doesn't like the edges around my cards, I don't like the card sliding around in my sleeve. So, I'm looking for the exact sleeve that fits it.
Yep.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah, Robin says, we're mid on a good day.
That's right.
Yeah.
On a good day.
The next t-shirt, mid, according to my kid.
I usually use something like that to just embarrass my son. So I'll just say it, and he's like, "Dad, shut up."
Right. I'm gonna walk to my kid's high school with the worst outfit ever, and I'll be mid.
I know Triforce mentioned this one.
Sometimes. What is Sigma? That's another one that they use. Where's Sigma?
I don't know.
Mayday. This
is a love-hate relationship, by the way.
Because I was like, my journey with Mayday sleeves has been awful.
Yeah.
Same.
I got one of those all-in things for a specific game for Mayday, and the sleeves were awful. Like they didn't feel good to touch. They felt like flimsy and crappy, and so I
That's
got
why
rid
you
of.
get these. See how it says 50 a pack? The 100 a pack ones are really flimsy. They're like penny sleeves.
Oh yeah, see, Yogi says the Mayday standards are garbage.
They're not the greatest, but they're way cheaper than a lot of sleeves out there. So if you're on a budget and you need sleeves, Mayday is actually the way to go. And they've got so many different sizes. It's out of control. They're kind of in between, like your. Then the next one would be like Sleeve Kings. Sleeve Kings are another one that are like kind of upper mid.
I had bad experiences with
Yeah,
those
I mean,
too.
the only thing, so that's just whether or not you're willing to
Yeah.
shell out the premium price for sleeves that are always like, because sometimes the Mayday ones per pack are sometimes slightly 0.1 millimeters slightly different, and you can feel that when you're like holding the whole set of cards. You'll feel some that the card is sticking out a little more versus not and stuff. So per pack, they're usually a little bit different. The thicker ones are a little bit more, what do you call it? Symmetrical. Is that a word?
Okay. You said that you go for complete fit, so it's like it's a little bit of a force to get the card in there,
A
but
little bit.
it locks
not
it
too
into
bad.
place. Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
can't stand the fact there's extra stuff around my cards. I'd actually have the card a little teeny sticking out. I've never had it happen, but I'd rather have it stick out a little teeny bit than have like
Have it
a whole,
loose.
like, have like half an inch around my cards. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, I tried Maydays. I tried I forgot the other one that you mentioned, but I tried
Sleeve
that
Kings.
one. Sleeve Kings,
Steve Kings, we call them.
and none of them felt good to kind of use.
What do you use?
I use Ultra Pro.
Yep.
Oh, see, he goes all in.
No, but that Ultra Pros to me are not that bad, because if you go on Amazon, you could buy them in bulk for what I think is a decent price. And the only problem I have with Ultra Pros is they put that stupid label bubble at the
Yeah.
bottom right.
Oh
of the
yeah,
card.
that is neat. I don't get those because of that. That's right. I remember
But
that.
other than that, I think those Ultra Pros are amazing. Like I love them.
I'm with Derek too. That's one of my go-tos.
And
Like I have two levels really. I've got the Ultra Pro and with the bubble. Actually, the nice thing is they've changed the little bubble over time. Like it used to be like an actual holographic sticker.
Yeah.
Which was annoying. Now it's like a translucent circle.
Yeah,
So you can
yeah.
actually see through it.
Okay, that's not too bad now.
It's not too
Yeah.
bad now. But
And
that's my go-to because I think I'm with you, Derek. I buy in bulk and I think it works really well, and I get the
Yeah.
mat for that. But
Yeah, and I found out that they made matte ones as well.
yeah,
And so they're a little bit more expensive, but
Yeah.
they come in bulk. But the regular ones, they're perfect for me. They feel good in the hands.
Yep.
They shuffle really well. They just they haven't let me down yet.
that's my go-to as well. And I always like the matte ones because they have like nice little like the backsides have almost like a slight fog to them.
Yeah.
So you can it looks really
That
nice.
reminds me of what was that game? There's a game I have out there, Machina Arcana. When their card sleeve came, they had like a kind of a normal side, and the other side is more of that textured kind of side.
That might be
I
a
was like,
matte
these are
sleeve,
like
yeah.
the greatest sleeves I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
I
they're
actually
really nice.
use the like that foggy side.
Yeah.
I that's the side that I use when I put the cards in there. Like Legendary is all matte now, so that's why you see 500 sleeves, because I sleeve Legendary.
The other one, I know Billy and I know someone else, I forgot who mentioned earlier. Sorry, I missed your name there. Game Genic.
GameGenic's
really
Oh
good.
yeah, Game Genic. That used to be Fantasy Flight's brand.
Oh, that's who made their sleeves. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's the top of the line. That's
Yeah.
like that. Now you're talking top of the line sleeves.
That is premium for sure. Yep.
Yep, that's premium sleeves. Those are kind of expensive.
They
Those
are.
and
But
those
they're
and
really, really
Dragon
nice.
Shields. Yeah, those and Dragon Shields. Dragon Shields are
Yeah.
expensive. I think like if you're gonna, for me, if I'm gonna use Dragon Sleeve cards, they're for a game that I will never cull, and it is just beyond amazing, and it needs it.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I think for me, I do Ultra Pro and then Game Genic. But I've tried other ones. Dragon Shields are good too. Just see Mitch. I think those are really good. It's a premium as well, but I haven't really sought them out too much. for whatever reason. There's no reason particular I haven't. But yeah, Sleeve Kings and Mayday, I had other two I didn't have good experiences with. But
I think the best card sleeves I've seen, hands down, is whatever card sleeves that they use for Dice Throne. To me, those are the best. They're clear. They're beautifully clear. I haven't run into one that glares yet. They're perfectly sized for the cards, and they have the art on the back. It's made for the game, but it's. I wish I could find out where they get those card sleeves from, and I'd buy those.
Riker sleeves. I have not heard of this one, Mike. Are really good, but I'm only using those for very select games. Too expensive. Interesting.
Like Will Riker? Let me see. Riker.
Yeah, Will Riker. Is that with or without the beard?
Oh man, yeah, that's top of the line.
For 150 or something. What?
Top of the line. It's their standard clear matte ones are $13 a pack.
Oh wow.
But they come in a really nice package.
It feels like you're opening a freaking collectible card game.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
If I have to play collectible card game with my card sleeves, I'm playing the wrong game.
Yeah, I don't know if Baron will like Dragon Shields because they do have that overhang.
Yes, actually, I have a whole like tub of them because Colin gave me his legendary game that he had fully sleeved to sell. And so it's like, oh, I'm not selling with all these sleeves. So I unsleeved every card and sold it all, and then kept all the sleeves. And I have them, and I've used them on some of my games. I'm like, I can't stand these sleeves. It's like got so much overlap. I want to just die.
Send them to me.
Maybe I will. Bring them to you. I'm bring them next time. I'll send them.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sleeves is a very frequent purchase for me. I'd say I don't sleeve every game. I sleeve on two conditions.
He's not a true gamer.
What are
the two conditions?
I sleeve on two conditions. One condition is if I really, really love the game, and the other one is if I think marked cards are going to possibly ruin the experience, or I'm a little worried about marked cards. I'll sleeve for that reason as well. So one of those two reasons.
It's funny because I will sleeve a lot of the times. I also think the bigger the game, the more I want to sleeve it. I have. And it depends on who I'm playing with. A lot of times my gaming group does eat like cheesy poofs and like Cheetos and things like this we're playing. And I'm like, oh, you're not touching my cards. You know what I mean? So that's another reason. A lot of times I sleeve a lot of the games I have. But sometimes they're like the Crew. I haven't sleeved the Crew. Why? It's like super cheap. And if I really need another copy, I could probably go get one.
Yep.
And it's more of like and it's funny because I probably shuffle those more than I do anything like that's all of Gloomhaven sleeved. How many cards you shuffle in that? Almost none.
Right.
Sleeved, right? The other one, well, now on the flip side, I don't know if you ever met Peter from the One Stop Co-op Shop, but if you talk about a guy who's just the opposite of us, it's Peter from the One Stop Co-op Shop. He has never sleeved a game. He doesn't care about his cards. He'll sit there and be like, oh, okay, what are we playing? Okay. Makes people like, he was showing us, he had his like Marvel Champions deck or whatever that he was playing in Marvel Champions. And he's like, and he shows Colin, he like puts it on the counter and he's like showing him the cards. Like, don't put it on the counter there. I haven't had a chance to watch that. My kids just had dinner there. Oh, you mean right here? And he takes his card and goes, whoa, and he smears them all over there and he shovels them all and just bangs them all together. Like, he made Colin just about have a heart attack in the middle of his own kitchen. He goes, I don't care about my cards. I'm like, he's like, whoa, like Colin's slowly dying inside. So it made me laugh hysterically. And so this is just the opposite. He has no care about that kind of stuff because I mean, he figures eventually, even if it gets marked, it's not the big deal because they're all eventually get marked because of how much you play with them, right? So that's kind of one of his philosophies. So I have taken it upon myself when I play Flame and Fang. We do not sleeve that game, and we shuffle the entire deck all together. We don't even care. We just play it because I am embracing my inner Peter when it comes to Flame and Fang because they did the game, and I know that he would love it if I did it like this.
He would actually love it, yeah, for sure.
Well, I ran into Steve Peter and I told him that. He like patted me on the back. He's like, "That's my man."
I sleeve everything. I am adamant. I even have sleeved Uno cards. I sleeve everything because I don't want. I think like when I purchase a game, it's not, if the game is good, I want to make sure that I don't end up, Uno, people will say, well, Uno's cheap, buy another pack. I was like, I don't want to buy another pack. I have this pack right here.
Yeah.
So I will.
yeah. Actually, also a lot of our kid games are not sleeved. Yeah, I do mean her. And a lot of the time our kid games aren't sleeved very much. Like I actually tried to sleeve Villainous, and Ridley actually asked me to unsleeve it because he couldn't fit it in the box right and everything, and he wanted it more fit in the box. So, you know what? This is your game. I'm sorry I sleeved the entire thing. I was just trying to protect it, but it's your game.
Yeah.
You may do whatever you want with it. Totally fine. So I did unsleeve the game and put all those vile, evil dragon shields.
Yeah. All that means to me is that if it doesn't fit, then okay, I'm going to Etsy to see if someone made an organizer. But
which is a great segue.
But I definitely don't want to. I don't want to say, hey, I could just buy another game because I might be in a financial bind at the time and I can't afford another game and that card's wrecked, so I don't have my game anymore.
Now, I will say I use these sleeves for anything. I usually have a tendency to shuffle. If I have like somebody saying like I even sleeve player aids, I do that too. But I actually use I have like ones that are 100 packs, and those are the real like thin ones. Those I will player aids get those. Anything we don't shuffle, like any like item cards or something that your characters just get, I don't shuffle. But if those item cards go into a deck that do shuffle, then you have to sleeve them with the same type of sleeves, right?
Yeah,
So,
I think you got me into doing that, where it's if I'm playing a game where these cards aren't going to be touched much at all, if at all, and they're that one-off, you pull an item card and then you place it down, then you never touch it again.
Yeah. I'm
now more open to not sleeving those. But if there's a set of cards that I touch a lot, like for instance, Kinfire Delve, I've sleeved those cards and they're gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, I think also you brought up a good point when it comes to like the art itself. If it's something you want to protect and like be able to experience and not have a lot of gouges and gashes on it, I mean, for sure. I think that's also really that does play a factor. I mean, I don't think a lot of people really talk about the fact that a lot of the games we own are actually gorgeous. They're like gorgeous on the table. Like really, the table presence is kind of a thing. I mean, it's a thing for some games. I really think that some of the games stand out. I mean, I don't think I'd have played as much of Descent if it didn't have such that cool table presence that you're building out this board. Now, granted, you build the board out 2 times longer than you mission, which is why we don't play it anymore. Because every time you think you're done, nope, more mission. You're like, I'm so done right now.
Yeah, but you were segueing into what?
Into inserts.
Inserts.
Because we know every game we buy comes with the best insert known to man. Every insert is built for the game, specifically for gamers.
If it's a Fantasy Flight game, it's here's a box, here's your cards, get the hell out of here.
And the best part is they like put that little extra cardboard thing in there.
Yeah, what is the purpose of that?
Just to hold the stuff sorted together. It's like you could have just put a smaller rule book in here, or you could have a smaller box.
But they do that for shelf presence is what it does, which is great for like selling the product, but hurts us as a consumer. So
yes.
What do you mean? Like explain shelf presence to me though. If they give you the box, and then all they do is they wrap the cards and throw them in the box with that little stupid cardboard fake divider that does nothing. Like what is the purpose of that thing?
Bigger box gives the illusion of value.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, if you're on a shelf with a bunch of other boxes, you're competing with them, of course. So the bigger box tends to grab more attention, right? What's that big thing, right? So that's why they do it. Okay. But unfortunately, it's not consumer friendly, like I said. We have to store it on our shelves. So
yeah. So
shelf presence, right? Yeah.
But
top shelf presence, exactly on. Yep.
Yeah, inserts is a major thing for me. I've spent a lot of money on inserts. Eldritch Horror. I actually bought a fits everything insert. Now I saw Jess in there. She just recently purchased that. You know that crate that Colin has?
Yeah, that thing's out of control. My God.
Jess just bought that. She just bought that thing.
on a funny note, you know how we were making fun of Colin for how much he doesn't sleeve versus sleeve? See, Colin's kind of a 50-50 guy when it comes to what he sleeves and what he doesn't. He has not sleeved that game.
What?
Any of it. None of it's sleeved. And it's like, so like that crate is built for sleeved cards. So like half of the like parts of that huge crate don't have anything in it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know. I had to give it back to him because I was afraid I was going to sleeve it all. That bad.
Yeah, inserts
Half
are
the
very
stuff you can't get anymore, Colin. What are you doing?
Yeah, inserts are very important for games. To me, what I look for the reason why I choose inserts is because they're easier to get things to the table.
Yeah.
If the insert provides a fast way to open the game, get it set up, and then put it away,
Yeah.
then that's a big plus for me getting an insert.
I personally built an insert for Kingdom Death Monster. Surprise, surprise, one in the box sucked. And the problem is now I'm seeing, as we're playing the game more now, because before I'd put it on the table, play it, and actually it was something, a weekly game that I would play for the channel. Like I was recording, when I recorded my 41 episode playlist, like it was staying on the table. Now I can't keep it on the table because I'm pulling it and then putting something else down to record in between our live sessions. And I'm finding that my insert is not optimal. And so I need to try to, so I'm actually looking for one, and I'm probably going to be digging into Fancy But Functional, because if we want to talk inserts, Fancy But Functional is probably one of the best insert making companies. Sadly, the company owner and designer of these inserts has passed away, but he was my favorite one because he wasn't one of those companies building inserts for games. He was a gamer building an insert for his game. It's so hard to find those. Because he's putting the conscious effort of getting that game to the table faster. Like that's what they're for. If you going from Madara, oh, here's your box of Madara. It's huge. It's giant. There's nothing in it. It had Madara 1.0. There was no insert in it. It was just everything.
It was just everything just throwing it.
It was out of control. So I got his insert for that, and I can put Madara on the table so fast. It's unbelievable. Same with my Aeon Trespass Odyssey. That was an engineering feat.
Yes, it was.
He put all the miniatures in it. It even had like parts in the insert that were like carved out of it so that a piece of the wing of one of the miniatures could stick up into that particular spot. It wasn't hitting any of the other miniatures up on top where the boat went right next to it. I was like, oh my gosh. And he did that super cool thing where you can lift out the cards you're going to use, and it's actually, they're slid in this way. You can just draw them out of the sleeve, out of the thing like that. They're not slid in this way, they're slid in upwards. So he used them in ISS Vanguard as well. Absolutely phenomenal idea. I wish more people would do it. I mean, everything else you always see is always just like, oh, we've got like all those rows of where you can put cards, and that's it. And that's like dividers. I'm like, no, I like those things. You can slide in all the different status cards. You just draw one while you're playing. It's right on the table with you.
I have his Darkest Dungeon insert. I have his Aeon Trespass Odyssey insert. I have his ISS Vanguard insert. He did a lot of great work. I think you said it very well. He was just an all-around friendly. He was an all-around friendly guy to talk to. I'd chat with him, and he would be so kind. And so you definitely feel that mispresence of his kindness and his ingenuity when it came to it.
100%.
Alexis is asking specifics about the Aeon Trespass one. Looks like.
Oh,
is it Aeon? Well, which Aeon one?
I assume an ATO, Aeon Trespass Odyssey.
Aeon Trespass Odyssey.
Is that what we were just talking about that one?
I don't know if I could post links in the chat, but let me see if I can.
You should be.
I'll give you a link, Alexis.
Yeah, we'll give you a link.
It's so cool. That one's really neat because everything fit in. He made it so everything fit in the box. Like I couldn't even imagine how he did it, but he's got it so like all the like different all the monsters have their own like separate thing. You just pull out the monster that you're fighting, stuff like that. And he also has it so that, and he has it built. You could get two different types of inserts for this game. If you decided to put all your cards into binders for this game, he had an insert built so that you could put the binders in the box.
That's cool.
If you didn't use the binders, he gave you extra storage things for other components of the game if you wanted to use them during the game that would fit in the spot where the binders would be.
That's cool.
So you could choose which one you wanted. It was unbelievable how he did it. He did that with and also with ISS Vanguard. Like it all fit in there.
Yeah, and he put the cushioning for the minis. Like remember that? Yeah,
he's got the foam cushioning that is specifically laser cut to fit with the laser cut insert.
Yeah, I put a link in the chat for people who are.
It's completely like you can protect your miniatures because they all have rubber padding around where the miniatures would go.
Yeah, he has that. Like I said, I got his Darkest Dungeon insert. It actually fits all the stretch goal minis and all that the 10 billion minis. It all fits in the box, and it looks great.
He has one for Marvel United as well. That's like that big. It opens up like this big chest thing and closes up again. He has one for Arkham Horror, one for
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
It's the same one. It's all this crate that opens up, but the inserts are a little bit different for the Marvel United because he's got foam protectors for each of the miniatures in case you paint them.
Yeah. The I have that one, but it's for Mansions of Madness. All my Mansions of Madness fits in there. So yeah. It's I think it's.
I'm gonna have Steve put a link to it in the description of the video.
Every time. This is off topic. I want to answer this question real quick. I want to jump back to the inserts.
Yeah, sorry.
But Craig has a question here. It says, "Are you all picking up the Zombicide Deceased mass retail box?" No, I'm not.
What is the Zombicide Deceased?
Is the DC version of Marvel Zombies.
Oh, no. I don't own any Zombicide. I don't know if I ever will. Not that I don't like it. I just feel like that's a rabbit hole that's going to cause me lots of pain and agony.
That's fair. So, answer your question, Craig. No, none of us are planning to get that one. So,
no, Marvel Zombies is all the Zombicide I need. I culled my Black Plague, which was my favorite.
Is that the one that had the campaign?
Yeah, I culled my Black Plague when Marvel Zombies came out. Now that's all I need. I'm good. I don't need any more Zombicide.
Yeah, I've got one on my shelf. I'm good. So getting back to C. Mitch has a comment here. Why is the engineer of the group not engineering these awesome inserts? So that's something I haven't said anything yet. So
sorry, we've been talking over you. Do it.
So I am not one that tends to buy inserts. I really haven't, to be honest. The one I do have is the Spirit Island one. But the other inserts I've built a couple out of foam core, which I've really enjoyed. But now that we have a laser engraver, I've been talking to Kim about designing wooden inserts. And so I know Kim was asking earlier, is like, what do people prefer, wood or foam core or 3D printing for their inserts? Because that's something we've been considering, is because if I go down this route of designing inserts, it would be very possible for us to, share those inserts, either the designs or sell the product for others. It's something that we've been talking about, but it's one of those like back burner things. So yeah, anyway, so getting to your point, C. Mitch, yeah, I've been really considering going down that road, making more stuff. But yeah, wood is heavy is the big thing, Jan, for sure. So I think we're going to start with Ashes Reborn, designing insert for that one. Because I don't know what it is, but I'm fine with the inserts that people design. I think they're really great, but I don't know why I don't seek them out. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a lot of back burner things, exactly, Kim. So
you could have fired back on that one, Steve. You could have been like, yeah, like my table. Oh,
here's the thing. She's actually in the shop most of today working on stuff. I'm like, does that include a table? She said, nope. Actually, no, it does, but not for me. It's been a table for someone else.
Kim, I kid.
I don't know if people are gonna be able to see this because it's super small. But here's the like somebody's asking about the way they did the miniatures.
Yeah, I posted it in the chat. Yeah, I put a link in the chat. I put a couple links in the chat for his stuff, so it should be in there for people to see. But yes,
but they have there's all the miniatures just kind of hanging out in the white there.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Steve, go ahead. Because I have more insert stuff, but if y'all want to move on, we can move on.
No. So I've enjoyed that quite a bit because I know Snow mentioned this. Sometimes you sleeve games, sometimes you don't, and then how do you inserts are designed not always for non-sleevers or sleevers. You kind of have to be a little bit careful. I think most of the time they do accommodate sleeves, but not always, and that may or may not fit within how you approach games. So. The custom approach, I think, has worked well in that regard. And plus, maybe I don't have everything for the game. Or maybe I would like it organized slightly differently because it'll table easier. So there's a lot of different approaches to that one. But I will definitely echo what everyone's saying. Good inserts get your games played more. I can't stress that enough. If I'm going to look at two somewhat equivalent games on a shelf, where one has a really quick setup, versus another one, I more likely would get the setup one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I wonder how many designers keep that in mind when they make their games. Probably not. Maybe.
Yeah.
it depends on the design you're talking about. I think there's certain publishers that are doing a great job with that. I will go ahead and call out right now Leviathan Wild's game Mooncrab. It have a fantastic job with insert. Like that insert is great for organization, all the pieces.
Sky
Um,
Kingdom Games.
which one?
Sky Kingdom Games.
Sky Kingdom
Isoperian
Games.
Guard.
Yep.
That's good.
Open
Yep.
Owl Studios also excellent job with inserts.
Mhm.
Like there's a few. They're coming back to it, but Nemesis Games as well. It's another publisher that does a really good job. They are actually planning on doing a revamp of their insert system because the game has grown so much that they want to make it easier to table. So
Yeah.
I have
Uh,
mentioned this last time, but for some reason, I know a lot of companies running out there and using that game trays concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've not really been a big fan of game trays. Just
When
I
done
feel-
right, they're nice. When
Mhm.
done right.
and
I think that's the
a lot
thing.
of times I don't think they are because I think they're hoping that it's going to be utilized in certain ways, and it's just maybe just not the way I would utilize a game.
Mhm.
I think is like Steve has said, if it's not the way you would put a game together or put it on the table, sometimes those inserts are almost a detriment.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it.
I agree. Yeah.
And
When
I've had a
engineered.
lot of issues with the game trays system that people use, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you can use these game trays." I'm like, I really would rather not. There's a lot of air. And there's a lot because the plastic's great. It's got the cool things that can store things awesomely, but it really feels like a lot of plastic that's in there. And I know here I am listening to myself. I might as well just like take two sides of a coin here and be hypocritical the whole time because I mean here I am sleeving every game with like whale blubber sleeves. But I mean I don't like what? So
Well, Baron, hold on. It depends on the game. Sorry.
That's right. So I mean, I've been, but like people said, the weight of wood is also very like my
Yeah.
Ant Trespass Odyssey. I mean, I had to go get a hernia repair after carrying that to the table one day. I mean, it was bad news. I could barely make it up the stairs. No, I'm kidding. But it became like I would say the game got almost twice as heavy as it was before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
and then the answer is foam core. Do you want to go foam core? I mean, what is it? Folded space, I think, is a big foam core concept out there that has a lot of different things. Is that a way to go? Again, I have one of their inserts, and that's just because it came with Frosthaven, and it was great. I mean, sadly, it didn't get everything in the box like I was hoping for. I've got the special binder for all the tiles because we love tiles, and so I actually haven't played much of Frosthaven, mainly because my Gloomhaven group died. But if I did bring a table, it'd probably be easier with that insert. And I'm actually thinking, and the one I have right now in Kingdom Death, and also the one I have for not Kings of Ruin, but Tainted Grail. Those inserts are foam core. I built them. I bought foam core, and I found on Board Game Geek under each of the games. There's usually somebody who has designed an insert that you can find, a do-it-yourself insert, and you can buy some glue and X-Acto knife. I mean, I've got
there's a
I've got
company.
enough X-Acto knives to put like Ted Bundy to shame here. I mean,
Dear.
out of control. So, I mean,
That's why you're in your basement.
in my basement. I mean, no.
Oh dear. No,
I
there's
stole knife handles from work and I just attach them and attack. I mean, that foam core.
Speaking of kind of like the put together ones, there is one company that I also use. It's called Tower Rex. Put their link in the chat now. But I use Tower Rex as also an insert one. They have a wide variety of items. They don't use any glue. It's just kind of the snap together, but it's made of MDF. Which is kind of like particle thick particle board, but it's everything snaps together and it fits all in the all in the box. Now the biggest difference, they have a wide variety of games, but the biggest difference between them and someone like Fancy but Functional was he went to have everything fit into the same box. They're like, okay, well, you can fit whatever they built it. They build it just for the game that you get. So let's say, for instance, you buy Raiders of the they haven't
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Good movie.
No. Like Roll for the Galaxy. Roll for the Galaxy is a good example. What they'll do is they'll build an insert to fit that game, that core game in that box, not an all in one box. So just they make really great inserts. They're very solid. They last a long time. I have my Dead of Winter stuff in there, but just be mindful. Make sure that when you do that it accommodates expansions or it says all in, because if it isn't, it's just going to be for the box and what comes with the box.
Yogi says Roll for Galaxy. It fits in the original box.
It does.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I guess for me, inserts are not something I normally buy, so that is not an accessory I tend to go for, even though I do like them. I do tend to I want to make them myself.
Yeah.
So
I do think that designers are putting this more in the mindset when they're making their games now, which is kind of nice. It's still probably never going to be the most optimal. I mean, I feel sorry for Awakened Realms. They try their best, but then a lot of the times, as soon as their thing's all made and you get it, you can't fit sleeve cards in it. And I mean, that's fine, but I mean, they're a game that really, to me, screams sleeved cards, because for how much you're spending on that game and the table presence of that game, usually when it comes to Awakened Realms, you really want to preserve that experience and be able to have that experience for the rest of your life. You want to bring it out again sometime. And so that one is a tough one for me, because I've got Nemesis and I always feel like I need to get a new insert for it, but it still barely fits sleeve cards. Like, we're talking like squeeze together. We can get them in there.
Yeah, I have a Tower Rex thing for a Nemesis, and it fits. It just kind of fits everything together, and then it sits in there. So it works out pretty well.
E-Raptor is another one somebody mentioned.
E-Raptors, they make really nice inserts. My problem with E-Raptor is their communication is horrible, and it takes you forever to get your product.
And of course, another wonderful place you can find some great inserts are on Etsy. There's a lot of really cool inserts on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
Colin got a one for Mage Knight that is absolutely out. You thought that Eldritch Horror one was nuts? Check out his. If you see his Mage Knight one, like, each Mage Knight had its own special like wooden box engraved on it, and it's just like all fits in there. It's like out of control. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he got that one from Dice Destroyers. That's another insert builder that you can get. I think Dice Destroyers made that one. The Ulta insert. Man, I'm posting links like crazy in your chat, Steve. I hope you don't hate me for this.
I don't even see them, so it's good.
I don't care what you post. Yeah,
I don't see them on my chat, so I can't see what you're doing.
So there is the that is the Mage Knight insert that I believe Colin has, but this is.
I don't know if you know this, but I don't see any of your things coming up in chat.
Oh, then I can't post links then.
Yeah, okay. You might be drop them in there, but I don't think anyone sees them because I have them set for the.
No links are showing up. Kate says
the
good
bad.
I've been posting like links like mad.
That's okay. Post the links in our Discord, and Steve will just transfer them to the page.
I might be able to do that. Yeah, let me see, because I know Baron sent this fancy.
And if you're not seeing them, Steve, then that means they're completely being blocked out. I thought I could post them, but yeah.
No, unfortunately, I disabled that. Yeah, so I can post links.
Derek is there.
Yeah, it's because of the bots. Not the bot I have, but the unwelcoming bots.
I'm unwelcome.
Yeah, you are unwelcome because he's afraid you're going to put like a porn link in there.
So. Yeah, exactly. We have those. Those bots at one point.
That's what I do, right?
Yeah. Actually, I couldn't believe that was a thing. I was like, oh, it'll never happen to us. In our first episode of Oathsworn, we got just spam attacked, and I was like,
yep.
I can't believe this. I have like a no-name channel. How did they find me?
Oh,
you know what I mean? It was unbelievable. So now we had to set up like that extra. You have to be subscribed for 5 minutes in order to do anything type of thing, and it was kind of.
That's what we do. So, by the way, everyone, that's why we had the subscription-only chat, because of those bots. I do that, and then the preventing links, and those are the two ways that I have not seen one of those bots in the future. So.
Yeah, I've only had an experience once until I changed that setting, because I was like, wow, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean. I don't know. Maybe if there's more comments in the chat, maybe maybe it goes up in the algorithms. Maybe I should take it off.
I mean, that does help, but
I'm just totally kidding. I don't want to.
It's not. It's worth not dealing with those horrible bot systems. But anyway,
Yeah.
talk
Well,
about
anyway,
Etsy.
Yeah.
So we
yeah.
covered inserts. We covered sleeve cards.
Yep, I got another one. So Etsy, I got this one I bought on Etsy. I'm a sucker for Playmats.
Playmats.
Playmats are
Yes.
a big one for me. So this one is the
Neoprene goodness.
Ashes one, and this one is I like. It's funny because they come with a board and everything, but no, I wanted to get a playmat for that one. So
I've got an entire section over here. All
Barrett, that's awesome.
that's all my playmats. That's my playmats right there.
That is incredible. I love it. I love it.
Yep. Now we are going to come from a different perspective on playmats. Like Steve loves his playmats, but there's reasons we love our playmats. What is that reason, Steve?
I don't know what the reason is.
They don't glare on the stupid camera.
I love it's the deer in the headlights.
Like,
Look like
what's that reason? I don't know.
Whenever I bring Nemesis to the table, I try to play it, and it's so hard to like maneuver the lights and stuff and my cameras and things so that I don't get glare on parts of the board. And it's so hard to do that. But on Neoprene, you never are going to get glare on it.
Oh, that's true. That does
true.
help. Yeah.
Am I the only one that has this problem?
Glare I have issues with other stuff, to be honest, but yeah.
Yeah, when I first switched to this room, I did have a glare problem, but I solved it like with a $1 fix. So now I don't have glare.
What's your dollar fix? Because I'd love $1.
I just put like a sheet of construction paper
Yeah.
to kind of curve underneath the light, and it diffuses it up straight up to the ceiling and then down.
Yeah,
to
you
the
need
table.
you need to bounce a light to help.
Oh,
you
I've
out.
tried that. It works.
Yeah, all my lights are pointing up.
Oh no, mine does not. I tried that once and it was worse.
Light diffuser, yeah, light diffuser and point them up is the way to do it.
And it just diffuses the light up to the ceiling, which comes down.
And I pointed them up, and it was worse.
But
Yeah,
honestly, you will still get glare no matter what you do. And I know you always talk about sleeve cards, you'll get glare. I will get glare with unsleeved cards. Like, that's still a thing. Like, so, and I that's one thing I was considering, like, well, when I stream, do I unsleeve to avoid that? But honestly, it doesn't matter what I do. It's always going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'll just use the matte sleeves because that's the way I don't have to sleeve and unsleeve. I don't have to worry about that stuff. But I'm getting to the production side of things.
Users.
But
Point
Well,
them
those-
up. And
Yeah.
it's still glare all over the place.
that's
I love that a big old box light just kind of made its way onto the
I have
camera.
diffusers.
yeah, I use that one too.
But the playmats are. Yeah, I'm a sucker for neoprene. I just buy it. I should be ashamed.
Me
of myself.
too. And I'm going to pull this up. So this is something that Kim made here. This is it fits in the calyx, and this is what I use for organizing our some of our playmats. So it's like just a 9x9 thing.
What's wrong with that?
Mine is my playmats are in a closet somewhere.
Yeah, so that's one way I do that. And we were tempted to like sell this potentially because it's really easy. Just what's it? 1, 2, 4 pieces of wood, and they intersect each other. They slide into each other. They don't have to glue anything, and just whole thing just slides into a calyx space. So it works real easy. I don't know. We haven't done it yet, but that's something we've been talking about doing.
Can you send me the plans for that?
Get 4 pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Put the link in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
Great idea. I should probably do something about this mass chaos over here. And your chaos looks a lot better than mine.
Is that why are you purposefully covering with a like a poster, like everything?
My wall scroll? No, I got just games under there.
Oh, you just
I was
got
getting bored of just having games, and I found my anime scrolls while I was cleaning out. And so I was like, oh, I should re-put these anime scrolls back up. They're kind of cool. And besides, they can hide things. Like, I don't know, my water heater back here. We don't need that.
Yeah.
I have wine rack.
How do you feel about making your own storage table solutions? There's a video by Room Board right now. It gives a fantastic overview of how he makes his own inserts. That would be cool, Pickle. I think about that.
I would.
Yeah, Chris, it's basically a wine rack for a calyx. So
Yeah, I would say that I have the acumen to make an insert. I don't want to.
I don't mind making inserts. I enjoy building things.
Like I said, I can do it. I know how to do it. I can figure it out if I don't, and it would be very easy. However, I don't care to. It's not something that's like, oh, if hey, I'm getting this great set of savings. I'm fine with like buying it off Etsy. Inserts don't bug me. With neoprene mats, I'm just a sucker for those. I actually recently bought the big Mage Knight neoprene mat. And I love it. I have a Spirit Island neoprene mat that Steve, you've seen that one. I got a Gloomy Killforth mat. I just go all in with it. And yeah, I think it's more, I prefer to spend my time doing for building an insert. I prefer to spend my time doing something else than building an insert. It's not something that I get jazzed about. Can I do it? Yes, I can 100% build my own insert. I just don't want to.
It's kind of similar to me for painting, except I can't paint. So
I have a lot of extra time in my life. I know a lot of extra time. But for example, if I'm hanging a lot of the time, okay, I'm a person that like, it kind of bugs my wife sometimes. I can't not be doing something. I have to be doing something, or it drives me crazy. I have a hard time unless it's like 10:30 at night when I'm going to bed. And I decide, like, so Robin's like, hey, let's watch the Vikings game. Okay, let's watch the Vikings game. So I'll turn on the Vikings game and I'll pause. She's like, where are you going to go? Well, I'm going to go get a miniature to build. So I'll like, grab all of this and I'll bring it upstairs and I'll start building that while I'm watching like the football game, or I'm watching like a TV show or something. I can't not be doing something. So that's a really good time for me to maybe, like, for example, build something that holds playmats. Yeah. That might be something I could do at that time. Or building, like, for example, my son and I just got done building in like a 40K starter set. So we were working on that as I was watching the football game last week. And I have a football game tonight. So I'm actually going to build all this ridiculous while we're watching the football game tonight. That's what I'm going to do for my time.
I do that. I do that for sleeving cards. Like if there's a game on, if there's a soccer match on or something, I'll have that on and I'll be sleeving cards. But there are certain shows that or there are TV shows that I watch where I can't do that. Like that show that Steve loves, Dark. I can't do anything else but watch that show for it to make sense to me.
Dark, you need to focus.
Those are the shows I watch when I go to bed at 10:30, like Tim says. Yeah, okay. It is maybe not 10:30, but like when I go to bed, I'll sit and watch one episode of like a real show.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. Real was a bad word. A more like thought needing show. You know what I mean? As opposed to like beer and pretzel show where I can just
but yeah, I usually that's for sleeving cards whenever I do that. But in terms of like, I get it. I don't want to down people who are saying, well, I build my own series. I think that that's admirable, and I think that's really great that you want to build that and make it, a lower cost thing, because inserts are not cheap. They are expensive to get. And if you don't have the discretionary income to say, hey, I'm going to do that, what Steve does makes sense. Buy the foam core like boards and math it out and build out your insert. For me, I don't get jazzed about that. I don't get jazzed about building an insert. I'd rather code something or sleeve something or something other than that.
It's more the fact that like it's
the only like code I know is Morse code, and I don't even know how to do that.
Well, it's like it's not necessarily that is the issue. It's more the fact that I have just so much to do, especially with the channel stuff. But I mean, talk about multitasking. If I'm watching a stream, you can pretty much guarantee that I am doing dishes at the same time, or I'm building assets for upcoming stream I'm going to be doing, or I'm doing something on the side, almost guaranteed. So, Chris
brought up a good point. 3D printers. Why don't we own them?
I do.
We just hop it.
Why don't you use it?
I do.
He does.
Why don't you build your inserts with it?
It's a resin. It's a resin printer.
Barrett doesn't know what you're talking about.
That's like me going like, well, you have this. Yeah. Oh, well, it's
I love that look just now, Barrett, where Steve got into the different types of printers and Barrett's brain just shut off.
Yeah, it was like, why don't you build inserts? Cacophonics.
there are different types of 3D printers. There is a PLA one, which is resin.
Right.
No, Yeah, which is resin, which is a goo.
Yeah.
And it actually builds it from the bottom up. And then
Yeah.
there is
it's good for details, a lot of good details. And
yeah,
stuff.
so minis are
And
really
small
great
scale.
for minis are really great for resin printers.
Mhm.
They're perfect for them. But inserts not so much,
Right.
because
You could technically do it, but I would not be sustainable.
Yes, that was done on his resin printer. But then there is I said PLA, I should have said resin. But there is another the printer that's made for inserts that has the hot plate. That's I always say the name of the company wrong that does it. I think it's Crucia or something. I can't say the name right to save my life, but they're the ones that use that stringy use the stringy stuff to build everything.
Is that FDM?
I don't think it's FDM. I think that's the PLA ones.
Yeah, FDM and the PLA ones. Yep.
Yeah, that's the PLA
I'm
ones.
realizing why I don't
PLA.
own a 3D printer. Have you realized why I don't own one? I don't know what any of this stuff is you're talking about.
Filament. Thank you, Tim. Filament.
Yep,
it uses filament to build those out. So those there's many different types of 3D printers, but
That's
those
funny.
are the two common ones. There's the filament that uses PLA, and then there's the resin-based ones.
Yep.
And is resin still toxic? People are wondering.
I mean, yeah, don't eat it.
If you eat it, you deserve to have toxicity.
Well, I distinctly remember somebody on this chat has licked a mini before. So
who did that? Who did that?
It's true.
Who did that?
He's supposed to be the influencer, but he got influenced.
That's right.
I think resin it's very stinky, so don't have it in a closed room. Have it in an air-conditioned room because the fumes are awful.
Yeah.
But this is the reason why it is mass produced and it's in a factory and there's molds for it and all this, because that's kind of, but people want to print it at home. So there's actually a when I was at UK Game Expo there last year, I think is when I went. I don't know, but it was that they had a filament printer that printed in color. And I don't mean like, oh, it switched the extruder to different colors. I mean like it printed through one extruder, not switching, and it did everything, like printed the whole thing in color.
That's cool.
And they started doing something like that with resin printers. I don't know how, Steve. I got to tell you, I don't know how. I think the resin, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're working on making that possible to print in color on a resin printer. I don't know how. But
the only way that would work is if the laser would somehow change the color of the resin.
I don't know. But it's just really cool how they did it. Like they said that they're prototyping it, and they showed one mini, like a full mini that was full color that they printed out that way. And then they had a filament one that they use. Yeah, like they use inks as it comes down to shift the color of the clear filament that's on there. But you have to see it. You have to see it. It's something to behold when you see a big old like KDM size mini that was printed on one printer and it's multicolored, like some artist painted it.
What does what's that company that makes like D&D miniatures?
Reaper?
No.
Dwarven Forge? No.
No, the minis are come from, you mean Gamers Workshop?
No. You design your own miniature and you can get them printed.
Hero Forge,
that's the one.
Hero Forge.
You can get those printed in color.
I know they're printed in color. I think they're painted though.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, they look printed in color. I've got 4 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think they're printed, but I do think they're painted. But yeah, they're saying the resin fumes are only bad when liquid form, which is true. And ours, honestly,
Steve's
we
like,
have
don't
a hood
drink
on
it.
it too and everything. So for the laser and stuff, so you don't really, the fumes have never been a problem for us. We also have ours in the basement. We have a walkout basement, so we can open the doors, and it's not too bad, honestly. The fumes. To be on the laser engraver has more fumes than the
resin.
The resin, yeah.
Because I've heard that like when it comes to resin miniatures, you're not supposed to like sand off mold lines and things like that because the dust can be bad for you.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. Don't eat it.
And stop licking it, Baron. Jeez.
Yeah, Owen is a Farsi. That's true, Kim. What that smell? Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot remember the name of that company to save my life. I'll have to ask Brian. He knows because he was chatting them up. But the mini that they had was pristine, and it was all done with. It was all in color, and it looked like something that you would see someone like Sarastro painting. It's
Sinestro?
what?
Sinestro?
No.
That's awesome.
No, I'm not giving you that one.
You can sand, but with Mark. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I knew I thought the dust was not, because I think that was originally some of the Kingdom Death stuff when it originally came out was kind of, some of the stuff was in resin. People were like, "Oh my gosh, it's red!" Like there's this big outcry about not using resin. So I mean, it's plastic.
Just don't put it in a closed. Oh, you mean in terms of for the environment or something?
Sanding it and stuff like that, like getting mold lines off it and things like that.
Oh.
Which I've always thought Kingdom Death is amazing when it comes to like mold lines.
Putting the mini together isn't. That's another thing where I'm like, nope.
I love putting minis together. Again, I do it while I watch football and watch shows and things like that. So, like I said, this is going to be assembled while I do football today.
I did want to.
Their house clean.
And we got a topic a little bit about
Okay, sorry about that.
Sorry.
So, well, I mean, kind of, because I have seen on Etsy like 3D STL files for like inserts.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
And
if you
into them because I don't have.
The tough part of that though is like with Etsy, you'd have to. So for people who have a 3D printer, you can go to Etsy and buy the STL files for whatever you need, which is the file format for 3D printing, or you can go, but you'll have to pay for it, or you can go to Thingiverse, and Thingiverse is free. So you can, and they've filled. They have a ton of stuff for free on Thingiverse that you can use.
Yep, we use that on occasion. We'll even modify some of them for prints. So fun.
I was going to post.
This is why I don't have a 3D printer. It sounds like a rabbit hole that's going to cause me pain and agony and multiple hours of sadness.
I did want to talk about storage of the because I know we jumped around back to inserts. But jumping back, because we're all over the place today, jumping back to the Playmats is this product I want to recommend, these telescoping tubes. I use these to store the extra large Playmats. I found them to be excellent for that because what they do is they actually have either a flip top or screw top, but the whole tube can extend to a custom size. And so it can fit those extra big Playmats, and it works really, really well. So
okay. Are they pricey?
Not that pricey, no. I think I got like 2 for like $30 or something. Let me check.
Yeah, pricey.
Oh no, it's 1 for $35. Sorry.
35.
One for 35. Okay, you want to know what? See all those like cardboard tubes there? Yeah, I got those on Amazon. I got like a pack of 500 for like $7.
Wait, the cardboard. Can you show that again? Sorry. Yeah. Which cardboard tube?
They're all like somewhere in cardboard tubes.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I thought that's how the game came. I didn't know that you.
No. Like I bought a lot of those and I custom built them. Here, I'll show you. So, like, for example, here's my Mach and Arcana Playmats. I took one of them, cut a little bit off here, and then I got my Mach and Arcana Playmat in here.
Now that is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And I slide it right back in there. And behind it is the Madara Playmat. And then you just pull out the one you want. I mean, I know I haven't really gone through this in a while, but like, here's my Maximum Apocalypse Playmat. Probably should have. Oh no, it's not. Now it's my Madara Playmats. I should probably relabel that. I was going to say, if this is my Maximum Apocalypse Playmat, that'd be pretty sad because I sold the game and I hate to not get the guy the playmat.
Do you have so the end caps? Did they come with that?
The end cap. Yes, they do. But they only come with 2. So if I'm cutting it down,
then
like I cut them. You only get like I can usually get 2 of them out of it because I can cut it down in half.
Ah, okay.
The other one's in there.
Okay.
Well, like some of my bigger ones are like that. Like, well, this is like almost the size it comes in. They're super big.
Okay, and then you just cut down what you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut down what I don't need.
I think both of those are really good. Like you have the telescoping one that Steve talked about, where it's for if they're $35, if someone has the discretionary income to buy those are a great buy because Steve, I've seen the one you have, they look really great. Yeah. But if you can't, look at that. There's another option for you right there to buy those cardboard ones.
Cardboard tubes come down. Now I just got to build something like Steve does because sadly if you don't have the cardboard tube, they kind of squish on top of each other. You can't hear me because I'm facing backwards. Otherwise, they squish on top of each other, and eventually you might damage the playmat. So I got to work on that. And it's been a while since I've dealt with my playmats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another accessory. So,
And some of them are just, well, here's an accessory. Playmats for your table. Like European playmat. Like this actually fits my whole table.
Neoprene is just so wonderful. It's terrible for the environment,
It
but
is.
it's wonderful. I love it so
And
much.
the cool
I
thing
love
is,
it,
like,
I
I
know.
can put that on my dining room table, and then we have like a nice play surface for the dining room table.
Yeah.
Built for it. So like
Yeah.
I picked up a couple. Like this one actually is supposed to. It fits inside my table itself out here, but I bought 4 of them, and so I actually have one on the table right now. I have this one. I've got 2 more. I've got one right here, one right here. You can't see it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
so yes, Jan, that's one thing I do want to talk about. When I'm on a Kickstarter or crowdfunding campaign,
yes.
they sell extra dice. I almost always buy extra dice because I feel like there's never enough dice than I want in the original game. I just want like
That's fair.
one extra set.
That's
Colin
fair.
is 100% on your side, and I'm just the opposite. I'm like, I don't need more dice. I got plenty of dice.
Yep. Always get extra dice for sure.
If you can't give me enough dice in the game to play the game, then you have failed me.
Now Derek takes another level. He's got like dice of every single color laying out for like using for counters and stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't need that many. Yeah, he plays Dungeons and Dragons. Every person that plays Dungeons and Dragons is a dice goblin. That's just how it goes.
Notice how deep this box is.
Yeah.
And it's full to the top with dice.
Yeah.
Well, I play Warhammer 40K, so I've got like boxes of 6-sided dice that I can use. So I've got a whole ton, but it's just because of Warhammer.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh,
Jen's
here's
in
another
the chat.
accessory that I
Well,
use.
like, huh?
Sorry,
I
this
said
is
Jen's
random.
in the chat.
Random
Hey, Jen.
accessory. Here's another accessory I use. This little guy. This little guy is a laser. So it's for doing line of sight. I use it all the time. Yep.
Yeah, I bought that thing for Madara, and then I got rid of Madara.
Oh, I use it for all my games. Yep. This is supposed to go on the front of a reciprocating saw.
Oh,
And so when you have a table saw, you can see your line as you're going.
cool.
This one I just got from, I think it's Army Painter. They just make
You
them.
paid twice as much as I did. Mine was like $4.99.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember how much mine was,
Oh,
but I have the
I
same one
remember.
you have, Steve.
Yeah, again, it's funny because I just got a picture from Liquider Gaming. He goes, "Look what Army Painter did," and it has like a set of 3 makeup brushes in a like set for like it calls them like professional dry brushes, and they're just basically 3 makeup brushes. They're selling for $20. I got the entire set of makeup brushes for like $7.99 on Amazon. I'm like, way to go, Army Painter! Way to make something that's 4 times the price for people that don't know where to get it for cheaper. So yeah,
I'm not buying a saw to take that laser off.
Oh, that I should have probably prefaced that first. It only comes with the laser. You buy the laser. You
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
so
Jan,
then
those
you
are used
you
too.
didn't save money and we paid less because you had to buy the saw?
No, I'm not. That'd be awesome though. No, but that's what this thing right here is for. It's supposed to screw into the top of a saw.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
So
that's
that's-
one of the thing I do like too, Jan, is these they're called coin
Coins?
sides. Coin sides. I like these a lot. So this is a dice actually. It has each coin can do like a D6, a D4. This one might do a D100 actually too. I'm not sure. I'll double check. D20s, but it's all in just a single coin is what it is. And I use this for counters and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I'm a big fan of those guys. So that's another accessory I have lying around. And I have
Derek's
it when I'm
I don't need
streaming
that.
because
What is that? Oh, Derek's like, I don't need that dice thing. Let me show you this box I got.
No, these are I have dice for counters. So Chessex dice are my dice for counters. They work
Yeah, that's
well.
what I use. I use those.
But I have these are my token holders.
Oh, those are so good.
So and I got them in all different colors and stuff for tokens. So these I use for different games if I need tokens held in them.
That's part of my hard part. I don't have those because I really wish the game would come with token holders for me. And I'm sad when they don't. So then I have to get the insert that has the token holders for me.
Yeah, that's true.
this is my token holder.
Oh, you have the magnetic ones, yeah.
So this is both a good and bad thing. I'll explain the bad thing in a second. But the product itself I like. So
It looks like a loincloth.
yeah. So
It
all you
is,
do
it's
is
my
it's all
loincloth.
magnetized. So you can
Magnetic
magnetize.
loincloth.
Yeah, like so yeah, because they store like this. I have a bunch of them,
Yeah.
and they're all magnetized. So, but
What
they're
the
they.
hell is it?
What's that?
What are those?
They're called goblin trays. But
I
there's
don't.
I got a bunch of them, and so the nice thing about it is they assemble pretty quickly.
That's fantastic. It sounds like they're building something upstairs.
Yeah. So like here's another one, and they're magnetized, so they actually can stick together, which is really nice. I can have like a couple of oops. As I look, I'm gonna drop this one.
Well, they went on the chart with tokens on the ground.
There you go. So you can actually connect together, which is pretty nice. So this version is you put the cards in, and you flip them over, you put tokens in. So for both, they're actually a really nice product. But the problem is, here's the bad thing about them. I don't think they're selling them anymore, and I felt real bad because I know Derek, you were interested, so I sent you a link to them.
I actually spent money on that, and I never got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, were they a Kickstarter a long time ago?
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter.
They were a
long time ago.
Kickstarter, and I contacted the company and nothing. They ghosted.
They're right now a ghost, so
Yeah,
I cannot
and
recommend them. I say avoid them.
And they aren't
unfortunately.
cheap. They aren't cheap.
Yeah,
I actually spent some. I think I bought like 4 of them, but it was pretty hefty priced. And
Why can't you show me something I can't have?
I wasn't going to show them initially, but they were showing trades, so yeah. I don't know.
So the moral of the story is these are fantastic. Don't go buy.
Speaking
Don't
of
buy
trays, and someone said E-Raptor. This is my E-Raptor card holder for trays, for cards that are there. I have, hold on, I gotta pull all these crap out. And I've got the mini ones that hold on here. And what's pretty cool on these is that they pop off and they actually snap back together. So, but yeah, this is what I use
for those. They came with sword and sorcery.
Yeah, I got some.
Yeah.
I got
But these are,
sword
to me,
sorcery.
these are better than sword and sorcery.
Better.
One.
But this ones for sword and sorcery are free.
Yeah, but I don't want to buy. Well, they're not free. You have to buy sword and sorcery.
buy
And I don't
the-
want sword and sorcery. so while
sword and sorcery is because of the card trade.
yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
but these are the ones that I have.
It's now show and tell. Yes, Mitch.
I know it's like out of control. All of a sudden, they're making so much noise upstairs. It's out of control.
It's show and tell.
Yeah. So, but for me, once again, this is from eRaptor. They make great inserts. You will get your product. They will just never tell you. They will never communicate with you, and it will take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But you will get your product, and you will enjoy it.
As opposed to goblins.
Yeah, don't do them. There is some place I can recommend, and I need to because otherwise Kim will kill me. King's Queen Woodworking. So
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. So here's one of the dice trays, and you've got there's your dice tower. Yep.
I've got one in the other room. Colin doesn't like it. He doesn't roll well in it. I roll phenomenally.
Well, for me, I use it because if I roll terribly, I blame Kim.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
yep.
fantastic.
She puts her mark on the back of them. So
Yeah.
and yeah, so Kim makes a bunch of stuff. So dice towers, dice trays, and we figured out this foam inside.
Yeah.
And it makes it we call it the ninja dice tower because it's really, really quiet. Because I know that's one big thing about rolling dice if you're like playing late at night. Like these are super quiet.
Yeah, they are.
We tried a couple different versions of like something internal to like dampen that sound, and what we settled on is the quietest we've been able to find.
Yeah, the other thing that Kim has made.
Yes.
Oh, the books. The books are awesome.
Yeah,
The cursed books that almost burned down our house.
The cursed
That's
books.
hilarious.
But she made a book for
Well, that's a
for
different
us.
book, but yeah.
Fantastic.
My book is out there. I write stuff in it. All my plans.
So, but yeah, so King's Queen Woodworking. You guys are curious. Kim has a lot of different products up there. But
What kind of dice
that's a little bit of
people
bias there. So conflict of interest. So yeah,
what
Steve, exactly. It's all Kim that does everything. Let's
so
be real
what
here.
are all the kinds of dice trays and towers people use?
Kim is not on Etsy. No, she she looked at Etsy, and it's great from a marketing perspective because people can find you, but they take a good chunk of the profit, and the race to the bottom prices that people do is not sustainable.
I
Because
can't find
people
it,
always try to
basically.
undercut each other, and looking at the prices now, like there's no way we could even like make the product at those prices going forward. So Kim has her
But
own website.
yeah, I figured that if you put one item on there that you have a lot of, then you can say more you can find over at the website. So to drive things over to the website for people to see, just to
Yeah.
get the engagement from Etsy.
I've seen people do that actually. Put like one product on Etsy and then
Yeah,
other stuff. So that does work.
yeah.
But yeah, no,
Tesseract
it's not.
Games.
She's not on Etsy. She's just Kingston Woodworking currently.
Yeah,
Um,
Tesseract Games does something a little similar where they'll say, "Hey, here's the pricing on Etsy, but if you come over to our store, you get a 5% discount and save some money." So it drives people to go to the store instead.
yeah, but it's crazy because we sit down and have these chats with her and like, well, here's my material costs, like, and here's what it would be for labor, and like, people aren't gonna buy it for that. So
Mhm.
like, even with that, the current prices are,
Fair, fair.
it's
That's fair.
it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Funny
Barrett, you want to
enough,
show something? What do you got?
Yeah, I do. We have first off, we have 2 different dice trays at the house. One is the one that Kim bought me, and the other, sorry, one my wife got me from Kim and Steve that she picked up for my birthday, or Christmas, one or two. Anyway, the other one we have is funny enough. Colin and I have the exact same like generic hexagonal green dice tray thing that almost every human has, I guess, or maybe not. But it was super funny because I have the same one Colin had. And we both had them before we even knew each other. The other thing is when we're talking about inserts, again, we're going backwards. Sometimes inserts are expensive, so it's almost better to go pick up something that holds all your game anyway.
Yeah,
One of these.
yeah,
This is called a art bin.
yeah.
Yep, I use those too. Those are
It's
great.
$40. It's $40. It holds all of Sword and Sorcery, and I've got these for all different kinds of games. I got these for Sword and Sorcery, Lord of the Rings. I've got the Journeys of Middle Earth, and it works if your miniatures are small enough to have them fit in here like this. But the problem is if they're not, then it gets a little tough. But so far, some of the dungeon crawler games, they fit really well in there because then I don't. And that one had a horrible insert. I don't think it even had an insert, Steve, if I remember right. Sword and Sorcery.
It does.
It does? Well, not mine.
It's not. It's not a good insert, but it does.
No. Yep, this is back in the day when they're like insert what?
Well, I mean, it works, but it's not. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, another thing I use is I have these actually. It's in here. I bet I've got some in here. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do have some in here.
And while he's looking, Steve, you have one of those, like a massive box for Street Masters.
Yep, it's the same box.
It's the same box. Okay.
Yep.
I
also have things that hold-
introduced me to them.
These work really well too for holding like specific like this.
I have those. Yeah.
Yeah, these hold. This is actually the character, one of the characters I was playing with in Sword and Sorcery. So if I went back to the game, I have my character all set to go inside this little box.
That's
These
nice.
are stackables, I think.
Yeah.
And you can get a ton of these on eBay.
Super cheap.
Or not
Yeah.
eBay, but Amazon. You can get like a pack of them for like $1 each.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
they're
they hold-
super cheap.
They hold the stuff they hold, and they actually hold regular size cards perfectly.
Hmm.
These are built for crayons. You're going to see pictures of crayons on them
I should probably
box.
do that. That's a really good solution, Beard. I need
for
to do
kids.
that.
So you can put your cards in here for like, say you got like your. This is how I separate some of the ones for dungeon crawlers, like boss decks. And when it comes to the mini cards, you can actually fit 2 sets of mini cards side by side in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you I think you were the one that put me onto that, Baron, because I bought like 5 of those afterwards, and I love them. I think they're great.
They're really, really good for, especially it just again, we're looking for ways of getting the game to the table faster, which I think we've talked about a long time ago in the past.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
Darren, you missed the chat earlier, but I mentioned that the next insert I'm looking at making is Ashes Reborn. And I have some ideas on how to do that, but I've been talking to Kim about doing a wood insert and maybe one we could potentially even sell. Or
Oh,
share.
cool. Very cool.
So
Yeah.
that's coming.
Yeah, my storage solution for Ashes Reborn is Gamegenic.
Is a shoebox.
I have a Gamegenic.
I know what you're talking about. One of these
organizer.
things. I got it right here.
But I love those, and there was one that
One of these, right?
Yeah. Oh no. But that's cool. I do have a lot of those. If I move to the side, let me see if I can slide my chair. Oop, nope, that's in the way. I can't. Big old body. See that?
Yep.
What are those?
In the back, you see like they're like right here. Those are the ones that are the organizers like that, but they have the front faceplate, so you can put cards to show what those things are. But the Gamegenic ones I have, let me see if I can find it.
Game Genic boxes. I've never heard of these.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Hmm.
Ninja Dice Tower in Europe. Florian, yes. Reach out to us. If you want, you can comment the video here and I'll redirect you. But otherwise, kingsqueenwoodworking.com is Kim's website, and we can work with you to get you a Dice Tower in Europe. I know you can't buy them on her website's not set up to sell stuff internationally, but we can still make that happen. So just reach out to us. Yeah.
So,
Kim says email her. So
and this is my 20 strong stuff. That goes in here. There's that. Then you open up the midpoint here. Sorry, I put a thing.
Derek's so mid right now.
I don't even know what that means, but thank you. I got my dice. So there's a little dice thing that goes, and then there's an extra one down here at the bottom for more 20 strong.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my 20 strong holder, and it actually comes with like the magnetic back, like this bends, so you can stand it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of Game Genic stuff. There's this one. Rob from Rob's Gaming Table, actually, when I chatted with him at Gen Con, he has one that if you have a game or a set of games that you just want to kind of bring, he has this small, narrow storage that holds dice. It's like this whole contraption that has secret doors and all that on it. That's pretty cool. So, but yeah, I love this. I like this. I like all the stuff they have. For the Ashes one, it's a very long one, but it has doors for storing tokens and all that other stuff on it. And so I have that for Ashes. But if Steve makes an insert, I'll probably get that because I still have the game boxes, and then use that for a different game. Use the Game Genic stuff for a different game.
Yeah. Cool.
Huh. I'll have to look into that. That looks kind of cool. I'm sure it's super expensive, but
yes, I did order the new 20 strong stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Game Genic, I've been really impressed with the quality so far. I do tend to get their stuff. So
well, that's the stuff that Fantasy Flight kind of switched to because they stopped making their own card sleeves, so they kind of started going that route.
Yeah, Steve, how do you feel about Fantasy Flight stop making their own card sleeves?
Derek knows. So
we're not happy about that.
So I play Marvel Legendary, which has been going on for more than 10 years. I had the whole thing sleeved in Fantasy Flight. The sleeves. Now, guess what happened? Well, they stopped making the sleeve. Well, guess what also has happened? Upper Decks is still producing Marvel Legendary. So now I've got a ton of Fantasy Flight sleeves of a game that now doesn't... the game doesn't keep getting produced. I don't have sleeves that can match anymore. So I'm like, oh, God. So now I'm like, well, at some point I need to resleeve the whole thing. This is just going to be a pain in the butt. So...
yeah, and
I will repurpose the sleeves I have in that, but I just need to. I don't know. It's one of those pain points I haven't crossed yet. So
wow.
And there is. I'm trying to find where everything is. For me, bling on games are things that when I talk about blinging out a game, it's more towards driving some ease of play. So, for instance, instead of using tokens, I use dice. Right. Instead of tapping a card, so Marvel Champions or any other game you play, the tap cards, instead of tapping a card to turn it, and I fully blame this on Colin.
Yeah,
I actually have some tokens that I use. I can't find the ones.
Oh yeah,
tapping,
yeah.
But what he did for, I think it was Eldritch Horror that he did it on, and I was like, damn it, that's genius. Was that he used the tokens from Lord of the Rings, like the foot tracker tokens, and he used that for like for marking paths and doing specific things like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that, and these can be reusable, and they're Lord of the Ring tokens. They're from the base game, but they're acrylic. So I went and got those. Oh my God,
he uses those for Lord of the Rings for sure. When we play when we have the con. He cracks all that stuff out for us, and we get to.
Yeah, those are awesome tokens. Really, really.
Yeah,
nice.
And then this person on Etsy that made these. So these are the investigators for Arkham, anything Arkham. So I had them create the investigators for Mansions of Madness, which now I have, which is every investigator except for some of the new ones. and I use those instead of those flat token things. And you flip them over, they're gray, saying that they're done. Flip them back, and they're ready to be played.
It's funny because you talk about all these cool bling things. I've been talking to Colin about this. It's when anybody plays a game. I don't. This might not happen to many people, but it happens to us sometimes. We'll be like, okay, that was a cool game, and we kind of shelve it or something, and then he'll see something on Etsy and be like, oh my gosh, that's super cool. Like he just got these light up things for Cthulhu Death May Die, where it's like all the different individual like flame and like
oh, cool.
Like we call them, it was like the alchemicals,
Yeah.
deaths, and things like this, all the different scenarios, right? And they all have these little light up lights underneath, so you can turn them on and they like glow and all this stuff. And he's like, he loves that because he'll get something like this and it'll reinvigorate him to play that game again. And I think those kind of help you be like, oh, I got these cool tokens now. I can hardly wait to get this back to the table and use these tokens. Be like, oh, that's so cool. It's not a tactile stuff that we get like all giddy about. And so it's almost like a way to get your game back to the table if you really want to, is because like, oh, I got these cool things from Etsy for like $20 or something, or whatever price it is. I'm just saying everything's $20. There's some stuff that are pretty expensive, some stuff's not. And it just kind of makes you want to play that, because like he just got something for Spirit Island that has these like 3D different like things for all the different like all the tokens now are all 3D printed stuff.
I didn't know they had a bunch of Well, I didn't know they did that for Spirit Island. Damn it!
There's a lot of custom tokens for Spirit Island.
And I know Colin's doing a new. He's going to be doing a video of cool Cthulhu Death May Die. He's going to be doing a video for Spirit Island because he just got these new Etsy things. So he wants to like show them off and like show how cool these things are. And like I said, it also reinvigorate him to get the game to the table again.
Yeah. There's anything that makes things easier as you play and pretty. It's like a big bonus, like when it adds to the game.
It's just so hard sometimes for me to pull the trigger on some of that stuff because I'm just like, or I could get another game.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's
like
fair.
Now after I got that new board for Kingdom Death, I've been trying to get a hold of those like 3D printed terrain pieces, even though I've heard rumors that Kingdom Death is actually building terrain pieces to fit into this new board that they've already constructed. The way Kingdom Death works, that'll be probably available to us in 2029. But it's still a cool concept. And I'm sure actually people are already starting to build these things. I wouldn't doubt you're going to start seeing these popping up on like Etsy and things like this, like being able to fit into those boards.
Yeah, and there's and just to reiterate, like a lot of this stuff, honestly, is made available to me via like people who are patrons and stuff like that has helped get some of this bling and some of this cool stuff in games and going to conventions and stuff. But if for people who don't have that ability or that, like I said, that discretionary income, there are options as well that you can do to bling out your game without breaking the bank and doing stuff. It's just you just got to get inventive with it.
Like
and you'll
going to the local hobby store and finding like when you said you had those tokens to like help do cards and stuap. I just bought a bag of beads that were like $50, and I use those on the cards so I know when I've used them. I just got and they're different colors. When I originally played Myth, they gave you these like tokens you could stick in a bag. You're supposed to pull them out to figure out what new item you get, like a common, uncommon, or rare item you get from the things. You put like 1 rare one, 5 uncommon, like 20 common tokens in a bag, right? Well, they're geniuses, at Myth. We all know how genius MegaCon Games was. Sadly, they made a great game. They weren't geniuses when it came to actually making the game. The tokens were for the common, uncommon, and rare were different. Like they had different, like one had a shield on it, one had 2 swords crossed, and one had like a helmet on it. It's like my friends would reach in the bag and sit there and like fiddle with the coins and try to figure out which one had was one of the uncommon or rare coins, and they pulled out, oh, I got a rare. I'm like, you guys are cheating hard. I found blue, green, and white beads, and I threw them in there and go, here, now go pick your treasure.
Yeah, and they I know that the Earthborn Rangers, the company, I guess they're Earthborn Games, I guess. But that they've shifted to this eco-focus style thing where they have an insert that you can make if you want. It's just recyclable cardboard that you can put in there to section out your game. So you can see that you can make it as pretty as you want or not, in terms of the inserts that you want to do. And I think their game mats are made from recycled tires, I think. It's not neoprene. I know that. And so I remember when I was playing the game, I'd said the map of the board. I was like, why don't you make this neoprene? And he's like, the designer was like, look at our company motto. We don't do neoprene. I'm like, cool. You have this game mat, right? Make it out of the same thing you made this game mat, which would be perfect.
Right. No, it's like Steve's or like Derek said, there's a lot of things you can do on your own if you have the time or energy. Like I've made 2 foam core inserts myself. Usually on Board Game Geek, if you go to the game you're interested in, there's usually somebody there who's like mapped out and like has like, hey, this is how you make it. It's like 22.38 centimeters like this way with like 15 centimeters this way, and like then you can just saw it off with your X-Acto knife, gluing them all together and pinning them, and it works perfectly fine. I've got inserts for I think 3 different games I've built myself.
The funny thing about that is, for foam core, I feel like those plans aren't worth it, at least for me, because like it's I feel like it's less work just to build it custom yourself than it is to like measure the stuff out to the size someone's plan is, right?
I'm not an engineer, Steve. I normally just cut them.
Well, no. Let me say this. Like, so for foam core, all you need to do is like build the bottom and the sides, right? And then at that point, once you got that glued together, you take your pieces, you throw them in there, and then you just at that point cut your pieces to make the walls, right? And build from there. So like when I go to make a foam core insert, I don't have a plan going into it. I just build the frame and then I lay out pieces at that point and build as I
That's
go.
a great way to do it. I just feel there's people smarter than I that have already dealt.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work that way. My brain doesn't work that way at all.
That's what the Board Game Geek guy on the forum has done. He's done what Steve's already done. Well, if I put all these old tokens in here, okay, it's all now it's 3 inches by 2 inches.
But yeah, you're right. There's some inserts that are really tightly designed. So yeah, you would have to measure them out for sure.
Yeah, I would try. My brain would go into this is probably the reason why I don't do this, because my brain would go, I wouldn't build the frame around it. I would be like, okay, this has this many tokens. All right, well, how many boxes do I need? Little mini boxes to make the tokens. And then, okay, well, how many cards? Okay, what's the dimensions of the cards? What's the size of them that could fit? How can I fit those? It's just juice isn't worth the squeeze for me.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it though. You literally take the card, put it there, and you grab a piece of foam and slap it there. You pin it and then you glue it. So it's like you don't have to worry about measuring. You just
I did not know that foam core is available in the States, but not in Europe very readily.
I didn't know that either, Marcel.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
And to Tim, you can still design it so you can pull the cards out. It's definitely doable. You always need the frame though. You got to frame it inside the box so you can have a solid wall structure. So
yeah, and Steve, the one that you showed me that you did, it looks pretty darn good. It's pretty solid. It looks amazing. It's just like I said, I'm my engineer side's just like.
Yeah, I can get foam core, what we call the dollar. Well, now it's the $1.50 store because of inflation. But I can get it from the $1.50 store. I can get like 2 of them for like probably I guess $3, right? And it's like these huge sheets of it.
Yep.
So we've been showing off all these like cool inserts, all these neat little things from Etsy, things like that. But in the grand scheme of things, if you want to bling out your game, you could go to a local hobby store or even like a dollar store, and you can find some really cool things to just be able to put on the table to hopefully reinvigorate the way you want to get back to a game that maybe has been on your shelf for a while, and just give you more excitement when you're playing it.
Absolutely.
So
cool. Well, I think that's a good ending to the chat. We run a little long here, to be honest, but that's fine. So let's talk about what's coming up on our channel. Derek, how about you start? You got more Elder Scrolls? I see.
Yeah, tomorrow. What the hell day is today? Today's Saturday, right? Yeah, tomorrow.
It's Saturday, yes.
Tomorrow, back to Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. We're going to Skyrim. I'm going to be playing the Thief class, the Thief type now. So that's kind of new to me on multiple levels. Even in D&D, I've never played a thief type class, so I'll be playing that. And then I've been learning to play the upcoming game Story of Many. They sent me a prototype so that I can play that on the channel, give them some love to see their game. Barrett, I think this is a game you might like, maybe.
All right.
I think, but I'll be playing that coming up soon, and then I'm going through all the Elder Scrolls content, and I'm waiting for my Marvel Multiverse, which probably looks like it's going to be October when we're going to get our game, Steve. So I'm waiting for that to come in. Well, you might get yours, but I think I fall into that category of things. But once I get that, then we'll start. Then Steve and I and Kim will start the campaign again for that. So, yep, that's what we're doing.
Look, I found my bag of beads.
Oh, those are nice. I like them.
Yeah, they're supposed to. You can put these in fish tanks too. You can find them in a fish store.
Yeah, and with the Elder Scrolls stuff, I'm not trying to like. All I'm showing is the province and the classes to give you an idea. There's so much stuff that I'm leaving out because I don't want people to be like, "Hey, I'm not going to look at that because it's big spoilers." It really isn't. I even though I go through a lot of content, I barely scratch the surface of that game and everything. So there's still a lot of excitement for you when your game arrives. So hopefully I showcase the stuff to give you a better thought on what you'd like, as well as I know that their pledge manager is closing soon. So if you want to jump in and buy anything, you can.
I got another bag of beads.
And with that, I'll move on. Barrett, what are you? What are you?
One I got. This is the one we use when we play Myth. These are all different color beads in here.
Yeah. So Barrett, what do you got coming to take?
Oh, I don't know. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do Kingdom Death on Tuesday.
That is really loud.
Yeah, right next to the mic.
Really? Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't know that. Now I feel bad. I didn't know we were making a lot of noise. I apologize, Derek.
Boy, that sounds nice. I know.
I feel so bad. Like on my side, these are like making like that much noise, but I didn't realize that was that loud. I'm so sorry, Derek. I feel
no, it's all good. Your turn. What do you got coming?
Oh, I'm a horrible man. I should be banished from the next co-op chat.
What do you got coming?
Oh, we're gonna do Kingdom Death on Wednesday night. And I think Colin's got a couple of things coming, and then I'll do an unboxing of Earth Under Siege. I got that. I think I'll also be doing. Colin got his shipping notice for the Marvel United stuff, so I'll probably be doing unboxing of that pretty soon. I'm kidding. He did not get a confirmation notice.
If he did, I wouldn't be surprised.
Darn it, I was hoping you guys were like, really?
Oh,
nah,
we're East Coast, so we're kind of in a weird situation. So
yeah, people. I mean, there's people in the like around the world and on the West Coast and in your area, Barrett, that have gotten all of their stuff. It's the East Coast that's kind of lagging.
Oh, I didn't. I have no idea. I didn't pledge it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. So if anybody's like, hey, yeah, I got my pledge. We know. We're just waiting for our games, and we'll play other games until it gets there.
Yep. That's right. But no, I'm going to do Earth Under Siege unboxing. I've got the Kingdom Death thing on Wednesday. And then in theory, I'm going to do a playthrough of this. I just haven't found the time to do it. Exo World Survivors. That's another one I'm going to be doing. It's a, what do they call it? It's a game.
Sure.
And we'll get to that sometime soon. Other than that, I think that's about all I got. I don't know. What do you got, Steve? Doing anything? Should I pick up some more beads while you talk, Steve?
Yeah, exactly. So Remy has a comment here.
I'm so sorry, Derek. I didn't realize it was making that much noise.
That was Barrett. Like, we don't care. Move on.
I just looked at. Well, no. Okay, so I was holding my Under Siege box like this, and I looked down at it, and I saw. Oh wow! I got the bag of beads right here. Like they're physically right here. I could show people. I did not know that I was making.
I understand, Barrett. You don't care about what I'm doing. I get it.
No, it's not true. That's not true. I've been enjoying your Elder Scrolls stuff. I've been watching it. I'm really you've invigorated my excitement for that game because I wasn't sure if that was gonna be a game for me. But actually seeing your playthroughs has really made me excited for it. And I'm gonna watch the story game that you talked about because you think that might be something I'd be interested in. So see, I was listening.
Yeah, what's the name of the story game?
Stories.
Accurate.
Steve, what do you got coming?
Well, I'll mention in a second, but I know Remy has a comment I'll address specifically because I know you've been watching Leviathan Wild's reviews asking about does it work well with 3 and 4 players? Honestly, I think it does. And so I don't have plans for a 3-player Leviathan Wild stream. However, on our Co-op Guild Discord, there is a live chat. And I would say, frequently, I would say Monday through Thursday, there are people on. I know Pickle and Chris are on there quite often. Some others as well. But we'll jump on and we'll play a game at night on there, and we will demo. We've been actually playtesting Leviathan while it's there. So, Remy, if you're interested, unfortunately I don't have an actual day yet on when that's happening. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Chris. I don't have a day yet when that's happening, but I'll try to let you know. But anyway, long story short, jump on our Discord. You can play games with us. We're kind of we do random pickup games there, and you can play Leviathan while it's 3-player there. So.
Yeah, Chris posted with that. Chris posted with that super chat. He said, "Do you sleeve Chip Theory games?"
No.
No, the PVC stuff is so good. I don't, and you can riffle shuffle it.
Yep, riffle shuffle, cheesy poofs all over it.
Yeah, totally you can smear whatever you want on it. I think
I've even done syrup, and I've done like this with them, and then I wash it under the sink.
Yeah, right. I think Shut Up and Sit Down did a thing where they showed like they spilled something on Too Many Bones, like the cards, and they wiped it right up. So nope, you do not need to sleeve those at all, which is great, which is really great.
Do you play on TTS? Yes, we do play on TTS for this game. So yep, use it all the time.
And when the next game of Palooza happens, I'll poke Steve to play Leviathan Wilds for people who, because there's the TTS love and the people who like it, and then there's the people who don't like it, and they may be curious at 3-player. So I might poke Steve and Kim and say, let's play some Leviathan Wilds 3-player.
It works great 3 and 4. The downtime does become more of an issue, but it's not much. And I did a review talking about that recently.
Colin, myself, and Robin played it once, 3 players, and he even was teaching us, and it went pretty smoothly and pretty quick.
It works well. Works well 3 and 4 for sure. All right.
What else, Steve?
Coming up for stuff. So, Darren mentioned this as well. Earth Under Siege. That is the next stream coming up on Monday. I plan to start the campaign of that one.
Oh,
you're doing very looking forward to it, and the more I look at like what's coming in that for the campaign and how you grow in that game, cannot wait. So awesome. It was funny because I was talking to Kim like, I don't know what character to play. I'm having so much trouble because like I want to play both these characters. They look so cool, or multiple these characters. So I have our supporters. We have a private chat on our Discord, so they help pick. It's been unanimous, so I'm just gonna go with it right now. Play with Olivia for that one. So, but that's gonna start Monday. Every Monday we're gonna do that game.
Is it a long campaign, Steve?
Not too long. I'm trying to remember exactly. It was like around 15 missions. But the problem is you have special ops as well, so it's hard to say.
What are those, like side quests?
Kind of, yeah. So as you play through the campaign, you can hack computers and you can intercept communications, and then there you get these basically kind of like extra missions you can do. But they have implications on how you approach them, because some of them might be like, hey, if you don't do this next, this bad thing will happen, or you can do this at some point in the future, and they all have some thematic tie-in. You'll see as it goes along, but the whole game grows as you play it. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that one.
Can I ask you a question, Steve, about it?
Yeah.
Is it true that there's a guy in the game named Hicks and a guy in the game named Reese?
Yes. I think Reese. Hicks for sure. Vasquez is in there. I don't know if Reese. I think Reese might be in there. I gotta double check.
Because if that's the case, he has physically made a game with the same actor in a game twice.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Because if Reese is in the game, Reese is Michael's character in Terminator, and Hicks is Michael's character in Alien.
So he's a Michael Biehn fan.
There you go.
He was that character. That guy was also in the second season of Mandalorian for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was on one of the planets. He was like the kind of sheriff guy.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of 90s movies, and I like him as an actor. So he's
So yes, if those are two characters in this game, then technically he has put the same actor in his game twice.
He might be in there. I'm not sure. He does have a lot of aliens references and other references in there. It's fun. There's a lot of fun.
He has apparently become. He must be a James Cameron fan.
Maybe. Yeah. He's got like cards.
Cameron also did both of those movies.
I don't got Time to Bleed, for example. So
he does have the Predator one on there as well.
Yeah. I ain't got time to bleed. He's got a lot of fun references.
Time to bleed.
Oh my gosh, he got Jesse the Mind Ventura.
No, not the character. No, just quotes in there.
Just the
References.
quotes.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Is there a get to the chopper on there?
Not that I've seen. It might be later. We'll see.
Okay,
But yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, Steve. I just had to ask a question about Earth Under Siege.
Yeah.
What else you got going on?
So yeah, that's coming on Monday. Every Monday. Wednesday will be Dungeons of Infinity. I know you unboxed this, Barrett. I plan to do a playthrough of that one. Oh wait, maybe you did unbox it.
I did unbox it. I haven't done a playthrough yet, unless you talk about the old 1.1 edition. I'm planning to do it. Oh, that's the other thing I'm planning to do. I'm planning to do that game too.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to get to it though, but I'm really excited. I need to because I saw the unboxing. I was like, oh my gosh, they've really upgraded this game and make it look really cool on the table. So I really want to get back to it and do a mission in that, at least one of them, to show it off.
Yep.
And I know Colin's going to be doing Earth Under Siege because I'm going to be doing Dungeons of Infinity.
Yeah, I'm doing Dungeons Infinity Wednesday and Earth Under Siege Monday for the foreseeable future.
Cool.
Coming up, and then there's other things behind the scenes that we're doing as well. So I got a preview coming today. I got to record for the Deliverance. So yeah.
Okay.
And I have other games from Gen Con I still want to cover, like Bomb Busters. I'm not going to do playthrough that one, but I'm working on doing a jump start for that and then a review of that one because I don't think it'd be fun to watch that game. It's a really fun game.
Nobody's talking.
Right, it'd be super tough to do.
It just wouldn't be fun to watch, honestly. So.
Yeah. And speaking of the Gen Con stuff, I have I got freelancers, so I'm trying very hard to get that to the table soon as well. But Elder Scrolls keeps saying, you don't want to do that. Do you want to play Elder Scrolls?
Oh, the player trays for I think still Earth Under Siege. Yeah, they're pretty big.
Freelancers right there.
Yep.
Where? Yeah.
Not yet, Ryan. It should show up later today for me. So
Nice.
So that the expansion's coming. I'm covering that one. Some other stuff coming too. So, but yeah, lots of stuff coming for the channels. So
yeah, Steve, you thought of a really good topic today. And if anybody has a topic idea, please let Steve know either in the comments of this one or send him on Discord a message or something. Say like, hey, it'd be really cool if you talked about this. Because sometimes I will admit there's some Fridays where it's like, hey, what are we doing for co-op chat this week? We're all kind of like, does anybody have an idea? But eventually we brainstorm something. But if anybody in the chat or the Discord has an idea, please let us know. We're always up for chatting about things that definitely would be something you are interested in. I know you're always interested in what we have to say, but sometimes
except for Barrett, then he'll just drop beads when he doesn't care what
That's right. That's right.
What are you talking about? I am horrible, man. How does Derek even come to these anymore? I'm surprised he didn't say like, is Barrett coming? Yeah, I'm taking my ball and going.
Statistically proven Derek's dice curse. Yeah, we should do that as a study.
There's no such things. There's no such things.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, that's all we got for today. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time at the Guild. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.